Baby, it's time to get over your ex. Let's talk about it. The truth is that getting over a breakup is going to take as long as it needs to take. And there is no fast tracking this. I mean, you can fast track it. I'll tell you how to fast track it. But it's going to take as long as it needs to take, because every relationship that you have in your life, there's so many parts of your identity that was tied to the relationship with this person, and you're still you. And so you're relearning your identity without that person there. It's just like in a regular time when somebody dies and you are grieving the loss of that person. A breakup is very much the same, because now you are redefining your identity without that person being there. So the first thing I want you to know is that it's going to take time. I wish I could say to you, baby girl, this is how you get over the breakup in 2 days. Find somebody else. No, because guess what? You're still gonna be living out of the traumas from the previous relationship. That's not even the answer. So here's how I allow myself to move through it as quickly as I can while giving my human space to take as much time as she needs. Give yourself grace to take as much time as you need. Give yourself grace to take as much time as you need. The first thing is get a journal. Get a journal. Get a journal. If you don't like writing, record an audio journal. Here's why. You are used to having this person be a part of your morning routine. They're part of your afternoon routine. You usually text them at lunchtime. You usually like go out with them, or go home together. There's like a whole part of your day where they're a part of you. So when you start to do these things for the first time and they're not there, it will trigger you. It will bring up emotions for you. It might bring up sadness. It might bring up anger. It might bring up confusion. You might begin to question what's wrong with me. By the way, nothing is wrong with you. Everything is working out for you. This breakup is a blessing in disguise. You do not see it right now, but I promise you it is a blessing in disguise. God is working things out in your favor. You are a child of God. It is working out in your favor. Trust and believe that, okay? But in the meantime, until you get to that place, I want you to have a journal. And every time you feel yourself getting triggered or you miss them, I want you to go into the bathroom if you're at work, or if you're at home, close the door, go by yourself, and I want you to just journal how you're feeling. I really feel angry right now. Like, why did they have to do this to me? Like, why didn't they choose me? Like, let your human have her moment. Let your human have her moment. Same with the voice note. But before you end this journal rant, and before you end this audio rant, I need you to shift into, and what is the truth? And what is the blessing in disguise? And what are you grateful for? Every time. I need you to do this every time. Why? We express because the human needs to be heard, because if we don't, that emotion gets trapped. We don't want that, because trapped emotions is what causes you to look old and raggedy. We don't want that. We want you to look glowing and gorgeous and supple. Keeping that trapped is also what makes you snap at other people, what makes you like choose the bad partners in the future, because you are an energetic match for the thing you are not wanting, because it's stuck inside of you and it's emitting a broadcast calling in more of the same. So you are not noticing the good people, you're just noticing the trash people. So I need you to let your human be heard so the emotion comes out, but then I need you to shift before you end any journaling or anything. I need to shift into, and what is the truth? And if you need to wrap your hands around yourself, this helped me a lot when I was going through separation and divorce. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm gonna be okay. I'm going to be okay. That is the truth. Sometimes the truth, we want to get to the truth of, I'm gonna find love. My soulmate is waiting for me. Like that's the highest level of that we want to get to. But sometimes it's okay to just say, I've got me. I'm safe. I am safe. I'm here for me. I'm gonna be okay. Sometimes that's all you need to start with. Just, I'm gonna be okay. Breathe. You're safe. You're gonna be okay. Breathe. I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. Sometimes that's all you need to start, because that feeling, it's not you believing that everything's gonna work out with this person or you'll get back together. It's not everything you believing that you're gonna find a better partner. But it's not allowing you to go down the downward spiral of you're going to die alone, because you won't. I'm safe. I'm so supported. I'm so loved. I don't understand why this is happening right now, but it's gonna all work out in the end. I'm safe. So you give your human the space to feel what it's feeling, to take as long as she needs, to feel the anger and the sadness and the depression, and then you shift back into, it's safe, I'm gonna be safe, I'm fine, I'm gonna be okay. Breathe. breathe, and you find your nervous system expressing and releasing. And what happens is it's kind of like a cup that's full. And every day that you do this, every moment when you're triggered, you release some of the things. And you're resetting yourself to I am safe. So now when lunchtime comes and you would normally call them on your lunch break, you're eating your lunch and normally you'd call them right now. I'm safe. You hold yourself, you hug yourself, you hug yourself, you hug yourself, you're safe. I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay. And you begin to rewire the neural pathways until on lunch day number 4, you don't even need to hug yourself. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna be okay. And some of the days you might have some tears come. Let the tears flow. Let the tears flow. I talk about tears in my reversing the aging video. You can probably check it out here if you haven't watched it yet. But in that video, I talk about how to like clear up your skin and reverse the aging. And we talk about tears. But tears release toxins from your body. Just see them as just like releasing all that stress. Just let it out. If you need to go to the bathroom at work, or if you're by yourself, you live by yourself, wherever you need to go take the time for yourself to go process the emotion. It'll take however long it takes. And I also recommend, having moments where you let your anger come up, right? Because anger is one of those emotions that we are judged for, but you don't need to be judged for your anger. You can let your anger come out, and like you can punch the pillows and scream and just let it out. I remember going through breakups and driving in the car, winding the windows all the way up on the highway, just like screaming, just like letting it out, that visceral, letting out that wild woman so she can have her expression. And by the way, I actually have a program called Recoding Men, and in module 1 we talk about the lovers and exes, and we also have like the father wound, because the father wound is generally like a part of why we might have things around relationships as well. But in that program there's also a module called Receiving Love, and so all of that was about how to alchemize to the lovers and exes, cutting cords, cutting soul ties, breaking off soul ties, healing the childhood trauma that caused you to choose these kinds of partners in the first place. It's so deep. There's a lot of somatics in there, but I mention it because we're talking about anger, and there's a sacred rage practice in there for releasing anger. So powerful, so good. If you want that, I'll drop it in the comments, or you can go ahead and get that if you need that. But getting out that anger, it's so important, because guess what? If you don't let it out, it's like a volcano. And I always use this example in my programs when I talk about when I lived in Italy. So when I lived in Italy, bear with me here. I promise this story is gonna make sense. Just bear with me here. When I lived in Italy, I lived in Sicily, and I lived on the slope of the volcano Etna. Now this volcano, it was an active volcano. It was always erupting. But because it was always erupting, I would always let out the lava. It was actually a safe volcano to live on, but that's very different than, I'm sure you've heard of, Pompeii. When Pompeii erupted, people were just going about living their normal lives. This was a sleeping volcano. Nobody knew that this thing was gonna go off. And out of nowhere, it just popped off, lost its shit, lost its cool, and it petrified all these bodies. That's why I can put like pictures in here for you to see like what the bodies look like. People were babies in the bassinet, people walking, people laying down. Like it just, the ash from the volcano just completely petrified and all these bodies, and this is what the bodies would have ended up looking like. And that's what happens with us when we don't let out our anger healthily. When you don't let out your anger healthily, what's going to happen is you'll have all this anger on your past relationship and regret and resentment and tense feelings, and you don't let it out, and what's going to happen is it's going to come out in some other way. It's going to come out as cancer. It's going to come out as ailments. It's going to come out as skin breakouts. It's going to come out as you lashing out at your children, you lashing out at your job. It comes out in burnout, in anxiety, panic attacks. So it's very important, breathe, that you are like volcano Etna, who lets out her feelings. She cries, she feels her temper tantrums, she journals, she lets it out, she goes through the somatic practices like what I talk about in Recoding Men, and she lets herself feel the feelings, and she lets herself heal the things. Okay, so those are some of the different things that come up around healing from your ex. And the thing is that the biggest thing I want you to realize is that it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. I know you don't want to hear that. I literally was recording this video and I'm like, but the truth is that they're just gonna take as long as they take. Depending on how long the relationship was, it might take you a longer time to get over it. But sometimes it might even be a short relationship, but it takes you a long time because you entangled your identity and your future and your hopes in this person. So we have to untangle that. And the quicker you untangle that, the quicker you give your human space and begin to make new neural pathways for your identity, new neural pathways for your self-love. This is why when you start going to work out after you have a breakup, you start, going out with friends, you go take up a new hobby, all of a sudden you get over the breakup quicker because you're making new neural pathways for your identity. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what questions you have in the chat, in the comments. And if you haven't liked or subscribed and you watch, what are you, like and subscribe. And if you want me to go deeper in this, I feel like there's so much that comes up. Like, even as I'm talking about it, I can tell that the people who are watching this, like, you're going through a lot, and I know what that feels like, and I'm really sorry you're going through what you're going through, and I want you to know that it's not gonna last forever, and I want you to know that you get to heal this, you get to move past this, you're worthy of so much more. Hold yourself. You are safe. You are so safe. You are so loved. You're not alone. You're so supported, and you're gonna be okay. It doesn't feel like it right now, but I promise you it is gonna work out for your good. God is working things in your favor. You deserve the best, and the best is coming. Breathe. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. And I'll see you in my next video, okay?